What's going on, Jerome? It's a beautiful Tuesday. Birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. So today is the day, decision day, that will shape my life and my children's lives for many, many moons to come. Of course, we're talking about the NFL trade deadline. At 3 p.m. Central Time, the only time zone that matters, Kwesi, please, one time, F them picks all in. Just like, I'm just trying to put together in my little squirrel brain the effect that having a Dexter Lawrence or Quinnen Williams or Osa Odigizua, even though we'll just get him in free agency next year anyway, or a Jeffrey Simmons would have on this defensive line. Woo-woo. Or even if we just go with the old guys, Calais Campbell, bring Diesel Dalvin Tomlinson back, just like having some let the bodies hit the floor up front, man. Need, especially with Taki Tami on injured reserve, need that push on the inside, around the outside. Need all that stuff, man. But Kwesi, just one time. Just one time, man. Also, one time is Christian Darrisaw having successful surgery, which they never report unsuccessful surgery, except for Sharif Floyd. Anyways, Vikings go. Christian Darrisaw underwent successful surgery to repair his anterior cruciate ligament. Just say ACL, man. And medial collateral ligament today at Twin Cities Orthopedics in Eagan, Minnesota. The procedure was led by Vikings head team physician Dr. Chris Larson. The team will continue to provide updates as appropriate during Darrisaw's recovery process. And as we said yesterday, really fantastic news that they were able to have the surgery relatively soon after it occurred, because sometimes swelling has to go down before you can really get a good look or have a surgery, or like with Hockinson, who waited a month because the surgeons wanted to let the MCL heal on its own before attacking the ACL. But it's really fantastic for Darrisaw. Glad that things went well. Heal up fast, CD, and it's really good for the timeline, as well as hopefully he'll be back for at least part of training camp and also the beginning of 2025. It's really good. Something that's really bad. So I swear to everything that's holy, the Vikings have so many random injuries that never happened to anyone else. Kevin Seifert, ESPN, go. Vikings All-Pro long snapper Andrew DiPaolo suffered a hand injury and will need surgery per Kevin O'Connell, likely short-term IR. Place kicker Will Rockard quad still being evaluated, but it's possible the Vikings need to bring in a kicker this week. More to come there. So, I mean, I don't count Reichard's misses against him. He was obviously hurt, is what it is. But DiPaolo, the Vikings have had two long snappers knocked out back in the day. Colin Loeffler against the Falcons back in the old wasn't super Georgia Dome, and the backup long snapper was Jared Allen. And at that time, Ray Edwards was on the Falcons, former teammate with Jared Allen on the Vikings. And Jared Allen remembers that Ray Edwards used to like to blow up the long snapper, and he said to Ray, if you blow me up, I will punch you in the wiener. Which is fantastic. I wish he was mic'd up for that. Would have been a legendary piece. But DiPaolo injured his hand, what looks like on a special teams tackle on a punt. So, nah. But DiPaolo is an all-pro, and I don't know, the Vikings probably going to have a replacement kicker for a week or two, hopefully. Just that, and also a replacement long snapper for a couple weeks. So, we'll see. God, only the Vikings, man. I swear. Also, I swear, by the moon and the stars in the skies, Addison needs more work, right? So the whole free three movement is in. Hey, I feel like social media bullying is actually panning out for good. So Addison's getting some targets. Diamond Dallas Turner got some snaps and is playing well. It's great. But O'Connell, so when O'Connell gave Addison a game ball, he said, we need to free this guy, which is fantastic. So obviously, he knows what's going on social media. And also, when he got to the sideline after that amazing catch, one-handed grab in the end zone, when everybody in this organization needed you, you stepped up. That was one of the best effing catches I've ever seen. Kevin O'Connell is so good at the personal relationships, right? And what's interesting? So I just listened to the Chuck Noll biography, and Chuck played with the Browns, became a successful coach, led the Steelers to 4 Super Bowls, except all of his players said that Chuck never got to know them personally. And, same with his assistant coaches as well. And Chuck, very interesting guy, true Renaissance man, had a lot of interests outside of football. And he just didn't feel the need to develop that personal relationship. Now, lots of coaches haven't. I mean, as Belichick, like some of Belichick's players, if they had a personal relationship with him, you could certainly win with it. But I feel like O'Connell understands things on the personal level. He's got a very high EQ. And one of the reasons why the team has such a good culture and vibe is because of Kevin O'Connell's leadership. 100%. All right, so O'Connell's a good one, man. We got him. We got him, man. Also, I'm loving it. TJ Hockinson back in. Now, understandably, like, easing his way back in, had a couple catches, took a couple shots. You know, it was good that they got him a look early, because I feel like, you know, with Hockinson, you got to be a bundle of nerves. You know, coming back from a horrific knee injury in less than a calendar year, which is pretty amazing. Also, you're champing at the bit because you see your team doing well, but you know that you could add some gasoline to this fire. And then taking that first hit was key, because, oh, I'm fine, and it's just football again. Also, the whole Kenny Moore, where Kenny Moore had a chance to do the replica of the Dirty Kirby Joseph shot, except Kenny Moore, respect, actually made a tackle and wrapped up. So you got to feel confident about Hockinson moving forward, especially Josh Oliver out there. I mean, just looking like Gronk and looking like Vernon Davis and Delaney Walker. They were a great tandem back in the day, man. Also, with the NFL trade deadline, is that the Vikings are certainly going to be buyers, hopefully, but also there's a couple of players on the rooster that could be traded. Now, it sucks to give away depth because you never know, but there are some players on the team that could be valuable trade pieces, either in a player coming back or some draft picks or something they could reinvest. Patrick Jones, who we've been trying to trade for like 3 years, still has 5 sacks. I mean, still has a important role on this team, but with Diamond Dallas Turner stepping up, maybe Jones is expendable, especially in a contract year. Who knows? Also, Brian Osama, just hasn't found his way at off-ball linebacker, and it's pretty noteworthy that Cashman has missed time, Pace has missed time, and Osama hasn't even sniffed the rotation. It's been Kamu, it's been AVG, it's been Metellus at off-ball versus Osama. So that is pretty telling, and we'll see if the Vikings can get some value at the deadline. Also a player who could have some value at the deadline. So I wanted to believe in Ty Chandler, but it's clear that he's just fallen down the depth chart. They brought back Cam Akers. Akers, given his performance on Sunday night, is clearly running back too. And Chandler, just the pass blocking isn't there. And Mike Clay, ESPN, put out there the Bengals perhaps in the running back market over the next 24 hours. Khalil Herbert of the Bears, who the Vikings also were intrigued by. With Zach Moss out yesterday, Zach Moss is also going to be out indefinitely with a neck injury. Chase Brown played a ton of snaps, and they don't really have anyone else behind him. So never discount, hey, that guy played well against us scouting. Because remember, Ty Chandler had his career game, a $132 and a touchdown, 5.7 yards per carry against the Bengals last year. So maybe the Bengals want to do some business. Hey, we'll take Ty Chandler for BJ Hill, which is where your mom has a timeshare. That's it. Also, speaking of making changes, so Dalton Risner going to return to the lineup at some point. And, the odds-on favorite is Ed Ingram, but I don't know. Blake Brandel hasn't been playing very good as of late. He got dinged for 3 sacks allowed against the Colts, but, But I just want to point out, so Risner, yes, he's only played left guard throughout his NFL career. Yes, he's worked quite a bit at right guard throughout training camp to ideally push Ed Ingram. But remember, he played 900 snaps at center at Kansas State for the legend Bill Snyder, his redshirt freshman season back in 2015, way back in the day. Also, Risner looks about 180 pounds right there. Also, hey, how come in college linemen always wear the knee braces, but in the pros you don't see that? Why is that? I don't know. Because I feel like it would give you support, right? Especially if you get rolled up on or if a body gets tossed at you, like having that brace is good. But is it just you're sacrificing a little bit of mobility with the braces on? Or if you're running in the open field, do you feel like Forrest with the leg braces, but then maybe they fall off? Run, Forrest? I don't know. But obviously Risner turned himself into a All-American right tackle, but let's not forget that he played the pivot before as like a 19-year-old redshirt freshman, man. So I feel like he could do it right now as a 28-year-old NFL veteran. Woo! Love to see it. Something I also love to see is Jonathan Grenard getting after it. Vikes fan page. Vikings edge rusher Jonathan Grenard this season. 7 sacks, 48 quarterback pressures, leading the NFL, as well as 4 run stuffs and a forced fumble as well. So disruption is the name of the game, and Grenard is getting it. He's averaging 6 pressures a game, and he really is a game changer. Like, of the Vikings defense, he is the one consistently getting pressure, consistently got that quick-ass first step, being able to get around the left tackle, and he's a problem. And also with Diamond Dallas Turner developing nicely on the other side, also with his own quick first step. I mean, they are very easily the fastest edge rushing duo in the National Football League. So you love to see that, man. Also, you love to see Justin freaking Jefferson. And I've made this point before. I feel like we Vikings fans have almost become numb to how good Justin Jefferson is. We're just like, oh, got 137 yards. Yeah. Also, to nitpick a little bit, I feel like Jefferson has the NFL record for receptions where he's tackled at the 2. And as obviously a guy who has Justin Jefferson shares in fantasy, it's just so frustrating, man. Obviously, it's frustrating for him too, but it is what it is. But PFF, Justin Jefferson, 32 games with 100-plus receiving yards since joining the league, most in the NFL. We are truly watching first ballot Hall of Famer and a guy who probably is going to go down as the greatest of all time in his position. And now that's very lofty praise considering Randy Moss played, Larry Fitzgerald played, Chris Carter played, Jerry Rice played. But, I mean, Jefferson is just on a different level, man. Absolutely love to see that. Lastly, something you also love to see. So 2 weeks in a row, there has been a scoring play by the opposition where Sam Darnold clearly just got punched in the face, either a face mask or a personal foul. But, of course, the flag didn't get thrown, or it got thrown and got picked up, and the resulting score for the opposition stood. And it's no excuses, and you do have to play better than the ref. They didn't against the Rams. They did against the Colts, but love that Kevin O'Connell's getting his point across without getting fined. Vikes fan page. Vikes head coach Kevin O'Connell on the controversial non-calls towards Sam Darnold the last 2 games. Quote, my opinion on what took place last night on that play, or maybe a play previously 10 days before that, really doesn't matter. And also just, he had a smirk. I'm learning that very quickly, end quote. So he pointed it out, but also didn't let it be an excuse for the results of some of the games, right? And you do have to execute better. You have to play better than the ref, and but O'Connell definitely nudged. I understand what's going on, but it's above my pay grade, and also don't touch my pay grade because I ain't getting fined on this, man. It's good. But yeah, like we said, NFL trade deadline, Kwesi, please, ay Dios mío, please, one time-o, un paseo por favor. That's it. Your thoughts are our thoughts. Let us know. Beautiful Tuesday. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.